The DL Ellsbury, who started the season tearing it up in Double-A with the Portland Sea Dogs, has not looked back after hitting .452 in 17 games of Double-A action. He was promoted and had a .277 average in Triple-A when he was called up. .296 he's hit over the last 34 games with the Paw Sox. To be part of the All-Star festivities next week in San Francisco, playing in the Futures game, Jacoby Ellsbury batting ninth, the starting center fielder, and he is pumped.
All aspects of the game. I mean, hitting, base running, defense, throwing. I mean, there's a lot of things I've worked on going into the off-season, strength. So to pick one thing is tough, but you know, I've worked on pretty much the whole part of my game.
All right, Jacoby Ellsbury on the mound for the, not on the mound, in center field for the Red Sox, up against Joel Pinheiro. Pinheiro is on the DL, a 15-day DL with a sprained right ankle, and Ellsbury makes his major league debut tonight. Ellsbury batting ninth, as we said, in center field. Dustin Pedroia is your leadoff hitter. Alex Cora at short for the second straight night as they continue to figure out the best way to get Julio Lugo back on track. Lugo, as you know, over his last 31, he is now hitting .190 on the season. Josh Beckett is actually on the mound. It'll be Beckett looking for his 12th win of the year, trying to become the first 12-game winner in all of baseball. He was superb last time around in that pitcher's duel against Jake Peavy in San Diego. Beckett went 8 innings, gave up a couple of runs, and was simply outstanding. You see his numbers from that game, his season numbers, very impressive. 1-0 in 2 starts against the Rangers last season. 4 earned runs over 12 1/3 innings in those outings. He has never lost to Texas. Obviously, he had never pitched against the Rangers prior to last season when he was in the National League. Josh Beckett, one of the starting aces, brought to you by Ace Tickets. Call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Robinson Tejeda on the mound, and you see his numbers, not very pretty in June, an 8.28 earned run average for the month. He started the season 3-1 with a 3.82 ERA in April. Took on the Red Sox back on April 6th. The Boston right-handed hitters were 0 for 15 against him, but he has struggled big time. He's 1-4 in his last 7 starts. And the Yankees continue to struggle ever since they went off on that road trip. They got swept in Colorado and have been reeling ever since, trying to win back-to-back games today for the first time in 2 weeks. Kei Agawa on the mound, and he's been a disappointment for the Yankees this season. The rookie left-hander facing an Oakland A's team that was scoreless into the third, but with 2 outs, Jason Kendall changed that. A solo homer, his second home run of the season, and a 1-0 lead for the A's. It would be back-to-back homers against Agawa, because Shannon Stewart is up next, and that's his 7th home run of the season. 2-0. A's already have enough offense, but they would add to it in the 6th. Dan Johnson with a 2-out, 2-run homer. His 8th makes it 4-0. Agawa, 6 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, and the Yankees can only get 1 hit off Oakland pitching. They are shut out by the final of 7-0. Back with Jim Rice. Jim, the Red Sox have been winning. It's all good, 10.5 game lead, but they're not scoring a lot of runs right now. As we said, 21 runs in the last 7 games. More than half of their games going back over the last 17, they have only scored 1 or 2 runs. The question is this a good opportunity to get it done and change that? They're at Fenway Park. Texas and Tampa Bay have the 2 highest ERAs in all of baseball. Is this an important time to try to get the bats going?
Okay, it is, but still you want to score 1 more run than the opposing team. You know, I don't want to go out and score 10 runs if we don't need 10 runs. I mean, you want the guys to hit, but the runs come, they'll come. But still, you don't want to go out and score all these runs when you are winning the game, but you still want your guys to hit. I'd rather see a, 3-1, 3-2, something like that, and try to forget about all the run issues. But still, you got to go out and score some runs. But I don't want them to go, play 5 games, score 35 runs or 30 runs, something like that.
No, you just want to get the average up a little bit. When you were a hitter, when you were playing the game, was there ever feeling like, we got to get some runs for the pitcher? I know you talk about Louis Tion saying, go get me a couple, that'll be enough to win. But you like to take the pressure off the pitcher once in a while, don't you?
Yes, you want to go out and score a lot of runs for everyone, but sometimes you're not going to be able to do that. But still, you want to go out and you want to have your guys aggressive. You want them to capitalize on mistakes, and when you capitalize on mistakes, you're going to score some runs. You may score score a bunch. You know, you go out and you think you can have anywhere from 5 to 7 runs per game. That's pretty good.
The pitching has been outstanding. You haven't had to score a lot of runs, and you always get the feeling the bats will be coming around as the Red Sox continue this homestand. They've always hit better at Fenway Park, and they've been on the road a lot already the first half of this season. But plenty of home games coming up, and that man's going to be a part of it tonight. Jacoby Ellsbury, ready for his Major League debut. Olympia Sports presents the Boston Globe pregame show. We roll on after this. On his back tonight, number 9 in the batting order. Center field is where he will start as he makes his Major League debut. We're talking about it here on Yankee Way. Nick Fardo, the Boston Globe, joining us now. Are you surprised by the timing of this at all?
I really am. You know, we obviously expected Ellsbury to be up at some point, but we didn't expect it to be when a pitcher went down. You know, and certainly the Coco Crisp situation has been a little bit interesting too, because yesterday Terry Francona really made it sound like it was like a day, and Coco made it sound like it was a day, and today it's you know, sprained ligaments in his thumb, might be a few days.
The scary thing is it's a little bit reminiscent of the beginning of last year. Remember when he first hurt that finger, they were downplaying it. It wasn't a big deal. All of a sudden he had to have surgery and missed a lot of the season.
Yeah, exactly. And Coco has been playing well, and certainly, if anything, he's improved his trade value here. You know, if that's the intent of the move. Who knows what the real intent is, but they really want a guy who can play defense over the next week or so before the All-Star break, and this is your guy. This is the guy everybody's been waiting for.
And you, I mean, you've heard a lot about this guy. We were talking about this guy back at spring training. He really blew a lot of people away down in Fort Myers. What have you heard? What's the scouting report on Jacoby Ellsbury?
Well, I haven't heard the scouting report. I know they're very high on him, but if you watched him in spring training, a lot of tools. I mean, can run, he can throw. He's working a lot on his bunny. He knows about the game. He tried to pick your brain, try to find out, you know, your thoughts and his thoughts and what he can do to make himself better. And he always, to me, he wants to learn.
We'll see how he does tonight. Another guy we always keep our close eye on, John Lester, pitching today for the Pawtucket Red Sox. John Lester now in the 3rd inning, 2 2/3 innings. He hasn't given up a run, a couple of hits, a couple of strikeouts, no walks. An economical start, which is always important. It seemed like he'd been laboring in a lot of these outings.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's what the Red Sox want to see. They want to see a nice, easy outing, maybe 2 or 3 of those, and then maybe after the All-Star break, you might see him up here permanently, and a point where Julian Tavares perhaps goes back to the bullpen and gives them some good middle relief. It's always great to have a left-handed pitcher in a rotation, especially in this league and this division in particular.
Well, you know, the interesting thing right now is you're not sure about Kurt Schilling. Until you see him come back from the DL and throw, you're not sure what'll happen.
Yeah, you're not sure, and I think it's important that they take their time with Kurt, because you have a big lead, and it's nobody's chipping away at it, you know, and you want this guy pitching in October. That's where he really excels. That's a guy you want pitching in October in a big game, so be careful with him.
So one team we know that's not chipping away at the New York Yankees. We're going to take a break, come back more with Nick Fardo, a Major League Baseball notebook, as the Yankees are beaten again and trying to figure out what they're going to do with Kagawa, because he can't seem to get them wins. Red Sox getting ready to take on the Rangers, a 10.5 game lead in the East. Nick's back with us after this.